starting with Patty, she just wanted to note that Professor Kevin Anderson agreed about the need for immediate demand reduction in order to stay below a 2 degrees C warming in the climate.
Yeah, I would just say about that Kevin Anderson is one of the climate scientists that I most respect because he has come out very clearly with many statements about the problem of economic growth. And a lot of climate scientists don't want to do that because they're afraid of not being taken seriously by policymakers. So kudos to Kevin.
In our camp of being ignored, right? But she followed up with some ideas. So here are some ideas for demand management and storage capacity.
Get your microphone up again.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So Patty says there's a pumped storage facility, energy storage between 2 reservoirs at different altitudes under consideration. Right now in Arizona, there are 10 in the US, and she's asking, doesn't this seem like it's too little too late? And then Jen asks, do you think smart meters will help with this? So kind of some new technologies, some new ideas for storage and demand.
Right. Well, yeah, pumped hydro storage is probably the cheapest way of storing energy. I went to a conference about 2 years ago, I think, at Stanford specifically on the subject of energy storage. So I got to hear kind of the state of the art thinking. And some of the scientists there had been working on metrics because it's really hard to measure these things in a way that enables you to compare one storage option with another, on an apples to apples basis. So that took up a lot of discussion time at the conference. And the people who seemed to have done the best work on that, on the subject of metrics, had come to the conclusion that pumped hydro storage is the most economical, but it requires specific geological or geographic conditions. You have to have a reservoir that's high enough so that the water has a ways to fall. So you have to have turbines, of course, in between and pumps. And some of those situations already exist, and the number of options for building more is limited by the geography. Then the sort of middle range of storage options entailed turning electricity into some kind of fuel that could be stored in tanks. And that includes primarily hydrogen and methanol. Hydrogen is maybe a little cheaper to make than methanol, but it's harder to store. And so there are energy losses involved in converting renewable electricity to hydrogen or methanol. And then there are losses in storage and in reconverting the fuel back into whatever usable form of energy you want to have at the end of the day. You could use methanol directly in engines, but if you want to turn it back into electricity, then you have losses there again. So that was kind of the middle range. And then at the lowest range in terms of economic efficiency are batteries, which is what everybody's all excited about. But the reason they're all excited about batteries is that they're the easiest form of storage to use. Like if you have a apartment building or something, or a private home, and you want to do energy storage, are you going to get a whole technological system that can produce hydrogen and store hydrogen and then reconvert hydrogen and so on. Such a thing can be constructed, and I know that there are companies that are working on that, but it's pretty complicated, and it's a big chunk of technology to buy. How much easier just to buy a battery bank, a Tesla Powerwall or something. But it's expensive, and it's going to remain expensive. Yeah, it's getting cheaper. But even assuming really significant improvements in battery technology, and even assuming fairly significant declines in battery cost, we're still looking at a situation where batteries are still going to be at the bottom rung of the ladder in terms of economic efficiency, but at the top of the ladder in terms of convenience. So that's the short lecture on energy storage.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard.